Neighbor, how long has it been since you had a big old heaping bowl of Wolf brand chili? We'll keep hoping, because this is not Wolf brand chili. Welcome to Richard's Kitchen. We're going to make some homemade chili tonight. I know it's a little warm outside for this, and my nephew Jeffrey would really give me the business over this, but I got an inkling for some chili tonight. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to teach y'all how to make some good homemade basic chili, and we're going to go over the ingredients here. Now, one thing you need a pound of ground chuck, and we're going to put some veggies in there. What we got here is we got some diced jalapenos that have been seeded. I don't like the seeds. It makes it too hot, especially with this other stuff I'm going to put in there. Some chopped up tomatoes, some chopped up sweet yellow onion, Vidalia onion, and I also like to throw in a couple of onion chunks in there. Gives it a little bit of bulk, and some minced garlic, fresh garlic. Now, as far as beans, you don't have to put beans in your chili. I do. And the kind of beans that I use are ranch style. I find that gives it a good little flavor. We got some diced tomatoes, some tomato paste, not very much, and some beef broth. You can make your own broth if you want to, or you can just use water if you don't have any broth. That's fine. And of course, salt and pepper, and of course the spices that we've got here. We've got chili powder, some cumin, some oregano. I put a touch of cinnamon in there, not much, and some brown sugar. So we got our pot heating over here, and of course we're going to need some extra virgin olive oil. Put about 2 tablespoons of that down in there. And while that's heating up, what we're going to do is we're going to start browning our ground beef. Okay, our ground beef has come up to temperature, and we're going to start our pot rather, and we're going to throw this ground beef in there. Get my spoon, and we're just going to brown this. And once we get that browned, we will add our other ingredients. You don't want to cook this. You don't want to cook this all the way through. All you want to do is just brown it for right now. Man, that smells good already. Can y'all smell that? That is definitely not Wolf brand chili. This is going to be good. It's so easy to do. It takes about an hour and a half to simmer, because after you get all these ingredients in here, what you want to do is just let that stuff, all this stuff, marry, and it makes it taste a lot better. I mean, of course, once you get it heated and everything, I guess you could eat it, but it doesn't give a chance for all those ingredients to marry in there. Okay, our ground beef is just about browned, and like I said, I'm doing this in a Dutch oven. You can do it in whatever pot you choose, any kind of a deep pot. I've got it on medium-high heat, and that serves its purpose. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start adding our veggies. And then once we get all those added in there, I'll show you what else to do. Don't that look pretty? I've said this before. Y'all know I'm about pretty. I like pretty food. Seems to taste better. Anyway, we'll get these onions in there. I like to use sweet onions, Vidalia onions. A little bit better flavor than those just typical white onions. Of course, you don't want to use red onion in a chili recipe. I did that one time, and that was a big mistake. Throw these chunks in there. Give it a quick stir. Now, we get this minced garlic in there. That smells good. Man, I wish I could eat that right now. Throw the jalapenos in there. Wipe your hands before you scratch your eyes or your mouth or anything else after handling jalapenos. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to let these veggies, we're going to reduce the heat to medium, and we're going to let these veggies just kind of
cook down a little bit. You want them a little bit soft right now before we add all these other ingredients. And while that's doing that, I'll prepare the rest of this stuff. Okay, now those veggies have cooked down. We're going to reduce the heat to medium-low, because what we're going to do is we're just going to let this stuff simmer the rest of the way out. Now we're going to add our ranch-style beans. Smells good. Whoops. Can of beans in there. Then we're going to add our tomato paste. Just a small can of tomato paste is all you need in there. That just kind of holds things together a little bit. And Rotel tomato, or Rotel, you know, diced tomatoes, that's pretty good. That's pretty good stuff. What I found is that the Rotel gives it just the right amount of heat. Now I'm only going to use 1 can of this chicken broth. The rest of it I will use to water to kind of bring that back up a little bit. Just enough to give it a little bit of juice. Enough for this stuff to cook in. Now, salt and pepper. Of course, you want to add salt and pepper in there. Be generous on that. That's a good amount right there. And some pepper. Cracked black pepper. Oh yeah, that smells so good. I can't wait to eat this stuff. Now, I am making a mess. But we get it all cleaned up. So, once you get all that stuff in there, we got all the ingredients in there. And we're going to stir this stuff up. Break up that tomato paste. Man, I could feed an army with this. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this chili. I guess what I'll do is freeze it. And eat it whenever I get an inkling to eat chili. Anyway, we got all this mixed up. Now, like I said, you reduce your heat to medium-low, and you just let this stuff simmer uncovered for about 1.5 hours, 2 hours. So, we'll get right back with you when that's done. Now, while that's been cooking a little bit, we want to bring it to a boil. And then we're going to add our seasonings that I mentioned to you earlier. Just going to dump that right on in there. Mix all them seasonings up. Ooh, look at that. Got that chili powder in there. And man, I tell you what, this is so much better than that store-bought Wolf brand, or what's that other brand? I can't remember right now. This is so good. I'm going to stir this like Granny did in the big old pot over a big old fire, because I cook just about everything in cast iron. And I'm doing this in a Dutch oven. Let me give you some people say it's not good to cook tomato products in cast iron because it's real acidic and it messes up your seasonings. Now, I've done the recipe several times in this Dutch oven that I got right here. And I've never had a problem, and I've never had to re-season the pot. So, this thing is on medium-low now, and we're going to let this simmer for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Okay, this chili's been simmering for about 2 hours, and man, it smells good in this apartment. My dog is so happy. He's just sitting down here waiting on me to give him some, but he knows I ain't going to give him none. Now, check this out. Look at that homemade chili. Man, that smells good. So what we'll do is we're going to use some tortilla chips, and we're going to eat that. We'll place them around this bowl, and you can use some cheese, any kind of cheese you want. I use sharp cheddar, and I'll shred that on there. And I say it's time to eat. So give this a try. It's real easy. If you've got 1.5 hours, you know, 1 hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours to spare, and make you some homemade chili. Hope you like it. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye, y'all.